Ms. Kshama Jain, the Managing Director of Kehems Technologies, who joined over 2 decades before after earning a degree from the UK Essex University. Ms. Kshama has served in service, purchase, production, and sales division. She is known as the HVACR industry's Iron Lady in India. Her areas of expertise include high performance, technical, and application organizations, applications engineering in chillers, heat pumps, project management, thermal storage systems, and strategies. She is also the ISHRAE Indore chapter's upcoming president-elect. Today, Ms. Shama will walk us through chiller and its future in HVACR industry. So delegates, let's welcome Ms. Shama.
Good evening, everybody. Today we will talk about chillers and its future in HVAC in our industry. So chillers are normally divided into two parts, vapor compression and vapor absorption. And in vapor compression, which is majorly the most popular part, includes reciprocating centrifugal, screw and scroll chillers. Vapor absorption chillers are becoming more popular now because of the green refrigerant gases being used and are really relevant for today's world. And this is the heating and cooling cycle. We all know about it. Applications of chillers are normally in most of the spaces where heating and cooling is required, and the chillers can be divided into air-cooled and water-cooled in respect to the application. Water-cooled chillers normally sit in the plant rooms, and the air-cooled chillers sit over the buildings, and our water-cooled chillers are associated with cooling towers and pumping system. However, air-cooled chillers are more independent type of systems. When we talk about application of chillers, today chillers are required into building air conditioning, commercial projects, hospitals, hospitalities, marine application, processes, low temperature, plastic industry, industrial refrigeration, projects, mining, shipping. So actually chillers cover major part of the application scenario today. And earlier chillers were thought to be the luxury, but now have become necessity. And we see a lot of increase in the demand of chillers over the years. So building construction is projected to increase rapidly, and we see that, as Ashish sir just mentioned, that we will have more construction added to India as we are growing day by day. 6.6% CAGR. HVAC systems contribute to about 31% of energy use. And as Achyut sir rightly mentioned, that we are actually the energy guzzlers, and building account for more than 20% of the total energy use in India. So here what we are seeing is that the increase in demand of air conditioning has risen in all the applications in residential, office, retail, and hospitality. And we see that when we see the city-wise survey as well, in every city there is increase in demand per se for air conditioning and hence chillers. So the institutional frameworks which we follow are decarbonization and energy efficient units, and as sir again mentioned, ECDC code, then environmental impact assessment, sustainable habitat mission, energy labeling, city-wise regulation, and green building association. So all these things are kept in mind when we are selecting any chiller for its application. So what is the future of chiller? Is VRV or VRF a threat to the chiller? We would like to say that any technology is a good technology if it is applied in a correct manner. So no technology becomes threat to each other. It just depends upon the designer, how you design the building, how you put in application mode. Chillers are tried, tested, and trusted products with stable market, but face challenges from new technologies sometimes. However, we would say that chillers are always have always been there and will always be there. So scroll compressor with and without VFD or inverter, air-cooled condenser with DX evaporator, electronic expansion valve, and inbuilt pump are part of any chiller model. When we are comparing this to a VRV, VRF, what do we see? We have to come ahead of this. In application sciences, what we do is that we design, operate, install, commission, maintain. We think about the safety of the equipment which has been installed, adaptability of the equipment which has been installed, whether that machine carries certification or not, what is the life cycle cost to that machine or equipment, and what is the approach of monopoly. So when we talk about any design per se, and when we compare a chiller with a VRV, the basic difference between a chiller and a VRV is that in the entire space, when we talk about a chiller, a chilled water is running. However, with VRV or VRF, the refrigerant is running in this space. So we just are required to ask ourselves what is most comfortable for that application and apply to it. Designing of the system must be on the basis of site requirement and from the viewpoint of having better solutions for the client's need and their demands. The designing of the system should be done by considering site conditions and their constraints. And hence, when we talk about chillers and a VRF, the site conditions are taken care of while installing the units, can be customized in regards to the site conditions. However, when we talk about VRF, there are only models which are available which have to be duplicated. So it just depends again on the application wise. When we talk about installation of the chiller will support any length of chilled water piping, because again it just has to be enhanced by the pumping, and the chilled water can reach at any specified length. Elevation difference and the length between indoor and outdoor unit is insignificant in the chillers, and installation of the system should be easy for contractor and avoiding complication for the end user. When we are installing any chillers, they are just to be installed with any kind of indoor unit which is compatible with chilled water system, meaning HUs, FCUs, chilled water cassettes, etc., etc. However, when we talk about VRVs or VRFs, there is a set which comes together. Hence, when we are just deciding what has to be applied, we have to see the demand, we have to see the application, and we have to see how it has to be applied in a better manner. When we talk about maintenance, we have seen that chillers maintenance is quite easy because most of the people are accustomed in serving this, and the OPEX and the CAPEX, both of the chillers can be justified when owning a chiller or when thinking about owning a chiller. However, when we talk about operations cost on VRVs or VRF, we see that small spare parts would cost a very longer life. Again, when we talk about the life of both the equipments, there is a major difference between the same. Dependability, again, we see that most of the components here are same, but there is a difference only in the refrigerant which is running inside the spaces. I've just shown what is the OPEX and the CAPEX when we think about a chiller or a VRV, and can be decided by the user when they want to make a decision about owning the same. The myth is chiller, if used in then separate heat pumps or boilers are to be used. However, I would say that chiller as a technology can give you a byproduct in the name of de-superheater, which can produce hot water, and the domestic hot water requirements can be taken care while you are using a chiller as well. So this is an added advantage you get when you are talking about any chillers. In terms of any leakages or repercussions happening on site, it can be easily maintained because the valve has to be shut, and a small amount of repairing can be done, which does not actually affect a lot of indoor units per se. Again, when we talk about indoor air qualities, we have always known that chillers provide inherent benefit by giving fresh air in the indoor and hence are most preferable in more areas of India today. When we talk about certifications in terms of chillers, we know that Eurovent, HRI, all these authorities, even Indian certification authorities, have done a lot of efforts to make sure that chillers are recognized or certified in a manner that the users can take advantage and can understand how these are certified and can make intelligent choices. However, VRVs or VRFs would not have that in-depth certification processes. So what is the future of chillers? The chillers can be installed in greenfield projects, in the retrofit projects, and reconstruction of buildings. So new buildings are coming up, industrial developments, food and process industry, infrastructure, smart cities, and airports in B-class cities have also increased the demand of chillers everywhere. I've talked about retrofit, reconstruction of the building, and the conclusion, the way forward is all the application here you see today require demand of chillers, commercial, industrial, healthcare, transportation, everywhere. It's just a recap. I want to show you the centrifugal compressors came in 1922, screw compressors came in 1967, compressors with VFD prototypes came in 1979, and today we are talking about maglev or oil-free compressors. Minor efficiency enhancement in last 50 years have been huge, and heat exchangers improvement, expansion devices have improved from thermal to electronic. Motor efficiencies have been improved, economizers have been added to the compressors, and compressor manufacturing has been refined in a major way. So yes, there is a huge requirement of chiller way forward, and there is a huge future for chillers way forward. Thank you so much.